So let's talk about your recent interest in the refugee crisis, because we know that you've focused on this. You're also you've made a film about it. So why don't you tell us how you kind of got interested? I mean, it is one of the largest issues in Europe currently.
Yeah, before I got my passport, I heard so much about refugee situation. So in China.
You mean your German passport?
No, my Chinese passport. I never had the other passport. Chinese authority took my passport away. Then they
reissued a new one.
They gave back to me 2015. But before that, I heard the refugee situation. So we sent 2 of my colleagues to Iraq in the refugee camp. I designed a questionnaire, because I cannot travel. I said, can we just interview them? So we interviewed over 100 refugees in Iraq, and just to find out who they are and why they have to stay in refugee camp, and how long they will stay there, where they're trying to go. I mean, what's the end of it? So I got a little bit of understanding about those people. So when I had a chance to travel to Germany, Germany gave me a professorship there, so I can teach in art school, and I have this luxury studio there. And one day, I found out their refugees come to Berlin. So I told my friends, I said, can you bring me to those camps? I want to meet them. She's a volunteer, she's a doctor. She said, she hesitated, said, why you want to see them? I said, yeah, it's just, I just want to see what's that look like. So we went to this camp.
Where was the camp?
The real reason why I want to see them is when we made this questionnaire where they want to go, they all said Germany. I said, why Germany? I have no understanding. And so a lot of curiosity. So I went to Berlin, the camp. So then I have more, once you get involved, you have more curiosity and they want to know more. They're all Syrians. And that's almost, so by Christmas of 2015, I told my son, I said, Germany is too dark, let's go to Lesbos, go to Greece, there's a lot of sunshine. So my intention was to bring them to refugee, this island, have over 500,000 Syrian refugees landed on this very little island, the most beautiful island, I should say, is all the Greek mythology come from there, and the early poet and philosophers all come from that area. So I brought my son to refugee camp. We met real refugees. We drove on the beach, and it's so beautiful. The day just like Washington today, and the ocean is so blue. Then you see a boat coming. Then you see those people. When you really see them come down, you will never forget. Children, women, pregnant lady, elderly people, they climb down off those this kind of boat, rubber boat, and then you look at them. So I started recording with my iPhone, because it's you hear about snake. It's very different from you really see a snake. It's very, very different. So that's so shocking. So that moment I said, why I need a studio in German, in Berlin. I should have a studio on this island, so I can learn so much more and I can experience so much more. So we decided to have a studio in there. I called my studio. I have a lot of assistants. I said, just move over, And then we started to do a film recording. I have been doing film for a long time, mostly documentaries, to leave some evidence, to record something you don't understand at that moment, but later you think it takes some time to digest. So we did a lot of recording. Then I decided to make a movie because the topic is overwhelming, because sometimes you see 30 boats approaching you in the midnight. They always come midnight or early morning, and you hear a lot of deaths. In that year, I think over 2,000 or 3,000 people drowned, and you see bodies, and you see graveyard. Then it's very hard to imagine it's in Europe. When they come down, there's nobody help them. There's absolutely nobody except the volunteers, and they live in the dark tents, wet, and it can be cold at night. No light. Nobody give them a cup of tea or something necessary to survive. And those people are very quiet. Their children even doesn't cry. It's very, very surreal picture. Almost half of them are babies. And many babies are being put on the boat. The parents are not there because they cannot pay the smugglers. So they let the baby just landed or disappeared. Many like that. And sometimes certain things you really should not know. If you know it, you're there, then it becomes a challenge. It becomes a moral challenge. I said, I have to be involved to know more. So that brought me to Turkey, then brought me to Lebanon, Jordan, Israel, Gaza, and Kenya, and many other locations. We visited about 40 camps. I interviewed hundreds of people, from politicians to smugglers to grave diggers, to all the kind, and of course a lot of refugees. And our team started to go to Iraq, Afghanistan, Pakistan, all those war zone area. So we have a film made, and a film called Human Flow is going to come out in 2-3 months, globally distributed, cinema film. And it's my personal journey, to understand this refugee issue. Also, I went to Mexico-U.S. border, and to shoot there.